Okay, guys. So good evening. So welcome back. So we are going to continue the SRE day 3 session today. And today the date is 24th 4 2024, and the timing is evening. Okay. So thank you all guys for joining this session because it's very late evening at India and you have joined. And firstly, I want to really I have to be very sorry with everyone because I couldn't take the class on the weekend as well as from last 2 days since I was not well. And today is also I'm having little headache, but yeah, anyhow, we will continue our session. So guys, so today in the SRE day 3, what we're going to learn. So now before that, let us see what we did on day 2 session. So day 2 session, more or less like we try to got into more about what exactly the SRE monitoring is all about, right? We also learned about by understanding through one of the architecture, right? Basically, we designed an architecture where we developed an application, something like a food delivery applications, and we try to understand like what kind of a components are required, right? What are the hardware requirements are required? Like we need a server, we need a networking, right? And we need some kind of a platform. And finally, on top of the platform, we have developed our application and we have deployed that application, right? That's what we have understood it. So from the DevOps perspective, we have understood that what we have to do. It means that finally we need to go and deploy the application into the servers. It could be any environment. It could be a dev environment, test environment, QA environment, or else it could be a UAT or prod environment, right? And like we saw that from the SRE perspective, we understood that what could be the possible failures, right? So if I see the diagram, right, like let me open the diagram. Where is it, guys? So day 2, right? I think this is the diagram. Yeah. This is what the architecture which we had. So this is basically a food delivery application, right? And these are the 4 applications which we have designed, and one is the database actually, right? And this is nothing but your platform layer. And we have deployed all these things in your server. Correct, guys? So now, so we have understood from this entire architecture, we understood what could be the possible failure. So when we are trying to do some kind of a monitoring stuff, we need to see like what could be the possible failure in any environment. It could be a prod environment or dev environment or QA, in any environment which we set up, right? We need to understand or we need to check what could be the possible errors, right? So the possible errors or possible failures are, these are the things which we had, some of the things which we had mentioned over here. And after that, like we come up with some methods of MTTR, MTTF, which we discussed. And as part of our monitoring, right, we have 2 types of monitoring. One is a server monitoring, other is application monitoring. Under the application, we have logs, traces, and metrics. This also we discussed in the last session. And what are the software tools which are available in the market today? So these are the tools which are very famous tools which are available in the market. And we also discussed like what are the things which we'll be covering as part of this course, right? So we'll be covering with the Elastic Stack firstly, and then we'll go the Prometheus Grafana, and finally we'll either cover Dynatrace or New Relic. Probably Dynatrace you're going to cover, and few of the sessions will be covering under the New Relic, right? So these are all good. So we displayed about all this monitoring, different monitoring systems what are available, and some of them are open source, some of them are proprietary. It means that you need to pay a licensing cost, right, for that. So we'll be discussing that thing also in our upcoming sessions. Now, later what happened, I think at the end of the session, we discussed about what are the methodologies or the process where the companies or the organization follows actually. Basically, we have ITL. So ITL is basically a process which is followed across the company. So if you have a single organization, you have multiple teams, multiple different domains are there. But what happened, right? They'll follow only one process, was ITL process, right? And basically, we have something known as a service node ticketing, IT desk ticketing system we have, right? So that is one process which we follow. Apart from this, we also follow the process of continuous monitoring. That is about implementing all your continuous monitoring along with your pipeline. Whenever you are developing or whenever you're developing a pipeline for the deployment, along with that, you should also deploy the monitoring system also. And the last is not but SR. These are the 2 methodologies which are being adopted by every organization these days now. Now, if you see it actually, like in every organization, there is something known as a traditional monitoring is there, right? I think you might have seen, right? Traditional monitorings. What do you mean by traditional monitoring, guys? Traditional monitoring, something like where, like in your organization where, you have set up some monitoring system, and, your servers and your applications all are running onto the servers, right? And basically what happened, your monitor tools will be keep monitoring your entire application, or the or the hardware or anything, whatever whatever things which are configured, right? It will be keep monitoring it. And now whenever, right, what happened if any issue happens in the server, say for example here in this diagram, right? So assume that if this server itself will go down, if the server goes down, if the server is not responding, obviously even your application will stop responding it. So what you're going to do, what is the traditional method that happens in your company, right? Usually what happens, right, you will get one alert notification either through a ticket form, like in the ServiceNow ticketing, you'll get a tool, you'll get a ticket like that, or else you might have your own ticketing no ticketing system which you have developed in within organization, or else even the you might get even that alert notification even through the Teams or even through the Slackware also, right? So through the Slack communication or through the Teams, in any mode, you might get an alert notification. So what you're going to do after that, you're going to see and you're going to verify, okay, whether what kind of no alert is all about, right? You'll get to know that, okay, this is because that some server has went down. Say for example, this front-end web or this catalog web service which is running in these two servers, right? If these two servers has gone down, you'll get a notification say that this particular server has gone down. So what you do basically, you'll try to triage the issue. It means that you'll try to log into the system and check whether you're able to first log in or not. If you're not able to log in, or there should be some network issue. So you'll try to debug and you'll make sure that the application, the servers comes up. So either you'll reboot the system or you do something, or you'll check whether, okay, what if there is any component failure has happened with the hardware, or whether the network has gone down. It could be any reason actually. So you'll triage the issue and finally you'll fix it and you'll make this server up. So once the server is up, then what happened? Automatically your application will start working. It means that automatically the application will be started working. So or else sometime what happened, if your server is up and running, there is no issue with the server, maybe your application has gone down, or if it is not responding, again what happened, right? You will get some ticketing saying that this application is gone down. It means that some of the URLs of that application is not responding. Like that, you will get a message over the email, right? Or over to the ticketing system. So what you'll do that, you log into the system and you try to see why this application is not responding. So now you understand, okay, it needs a restart. So we call it as a bounce, right? It needs a restart. There's something like a hard bounce and a soft bounce. Hard bounce is something like where you do some kind of clear caching of all the files and logs and everything, and finally restarting the application. That we call as a hard bounce. Soft bounce, like without nothing, like without clearing any cache, you just try to bounce it and verify whether your application is up or not. That's what we call it as a bounce, or we call it as a restart of the application. So once you restart the application, what happens? The application comes up and it started behaving it properly. Sometime what happened, guys, because of this ticketing tool, like usually in the case of your traditional method, why I'm using this word traditional monitoring, in many organizations from many years, this traditional approach has been implemented, right? Say for example, in your company, Nagios has been Nagios is nothing but it is a monitoring tool which has been used across many organizations. They use it actually. So they might use it for doing a server monitoring. It means that all kind of a hardware monitoring, server monitoring, where the Nagios does actually. Similarly, we have application monitoring. There are many other tools are there which does for the application monitoring, right? So usually what happened, right? This application monitoring or this hardware monitoring system, whatever, it will be keep checking whether the hardware is responding fine or not. If it is not responding, then it sends a notification, alert notification over to the email or over to the Teams, whichever way you have configured it. So now sometime what happened, right? Because it's an old traditional method, you could see that in many of your organization, you will get hundreds of email every day. It's not one or two, hundreds of email will get pop up as soon as you log in the morning. As soon as you log in your laptop in your morning, right, at office, right, you will see the 100, 200 mails have come up actually. So sometime what happened now, it becomes very messier for every engineers to go through all the ticketing system, try to check whether it's a critical or a non-critical, or whether it's a priority 2 or priority 1 tickets. So try to assign and try to work on it. It is very hectic actually. And usually what happened, people, what they do know in the industry, you would have seen that many people who are working under that domain where they have to always check onto the ticket and work on it, they're very lazy actually. They won't fix all the issues on time. So they say that, okay, any month this always comes. Why you have to always go and fix it? So sometime what happened, no, you would have seen that actually that if you are getting so many tickets or so many mails you're getting, no, without any looking, right, you will simply do a control alt delete and you just delete all those mails, right? Because you know that, okay, these are some default monitoring you always get, or I mean, or else you will not able, you will not be in mood of fixing that issue actually, because you say that, okay, every day it comes, maybe after some time automatically the application will be backed up or it will come up like that, you think, and like that you have some strategies so that you will not really work on this ticket. So that old traditional monitoring, something, it what it does, it always creates some noise. It creates some noise. It means that, oh, okay, always mails comes up actually, and we are not so much proactively work on those tickets actually. But you have to. But you see that in many organizations, people don't do it actually. They just simply ignore it. So that's the reason what happened, right? We need some more better monitoring system than the traditional monitoring actually. So that is why like this SRE came to the picture actually. So SRE is basically you can monitor through easily. You can monitor everything through a SRE dashboard actually. Like you will get a nice dashboard you can create actually, right? So if I try to check it like something SRE dashboard. So if you go through the images actually, many of you have seen. See this kind of images you have seen, right? So this will give a complete picture, right? You can monitor like this. Right, you could see that, okay, you'll get some alert notification here in this dashboard only. Okay, this server has gone down, this number of threads have been created, right? So it means that there could be some heavy load into that application. So in this, through this monitoring system, right, it's something like your dashboard, right? You will be able to easily monitor all the systems, let it be hardware, let it be server, or let it be networking, or let it be an application side. This is what at the end of our session, see, when we are learning SRE, you need to learn an art of creating this dashboard also. This is all about the SRE, guys. Right? So now what happened, right? It is something like you would have seen that sometime what happened, right? Some important notification you will get, alert notification you will get actually. And like since you say that, okay, Rajesh, every day I delete it without seeing it actually, sometimes you miss those important alerts also. And so in that case, what happened that when some escalation happens, right, then you'll get to know, okay, why my monitoring system didn't give me the alert, like that you will say, Arey Baba, it has given alert, you didn't see it, you just simply deleted it, right? So what happens, sometimes it happens like that, right? Many times what happened, right, in your organization, you might be not be so much actively look into those monitoring logs and all, or onto those notification email, you miss many of the important like notification where you are supposed to fix it, but due to your negligence, right, you didn't work on it, and finally what happened, that issue got escalated. So this is a very common thing in many organizations. This happens every day. So that's the reason what happened, right? So there was a requirement that, okay, every monitoring things comes to something, it should come to like a dashboard where you can go to a dashboard. So that dashboard will be allow even running once in 15 seconds or 10 seconds, will be keep getting refreshed. So this dashboard will be keep getting refreshed, and you'll get a latest updates or latest live updates about your server or the application, you'll get it. So once you go through it, you will understand, okay, this is what the current state is all about. So it is very easy here, monitoring through this dashboard actually. That is what SRE is all about. And all these tools, whatever we talked, right? All these tools, let it be like Elasticstack, Prometheus, Grafana, Dynatrace, or Splunk, or anything. All these tools, guys, will provide you all, will give you a very nice dashboards. You can create your own nice dashboards actually. So that kind of functionality is provided by all these tools actually. So that's the reason you could see that in many of the companies, suppose in some companies they're using Splunk, you will see that a lot of Splunk admins are there who will create a dashboard based on the requirement, right? Based on the team's requirement, they'll give the requirements, and those Splunk admins, right? They create all the nicely. They create a dashboard, live dashboards, and they'll give to them. So through that, what happened? That particular team will start doing monitoring their applications and the servers. Correct? So guys, so what we are going to do today as part of day 3 session. So we will start learning or understanding about our first tool, which is nothing but the Elastic Stack. Very important. So we are going to learn about the Elastic Stack. Okay. Now, before that, actually, like I want to tell you one more thing, guys, because in the last session, I missed one thing. Here, what happened, right? You have a lot of tools which need to be covered or which which the industry is adopted, right? Right. So most of these tools are either proprietary or either some of them are open source actually. So usually in the industry, like people will always go with, like going with the open source because they don't want to really spend a lot of money onto the licensing cost, right? So this is all fine, but what is happening apart from this monitoring systems or monitoring tools, right? You have something which really many of the companies is looking for actually. So what are the other tools? I'll just mention in the day 3 session. So what are the before this? What are the other tools or technologies which is going to be adopted in near future? So why I'm telling you now only because that guess you might in your upcoming maybe after 6 months or 1 year, right? You will tend to start hearing about these tools. EBPF. This is one of the tool. And the other thing, some of you might have heard about some of the open telemetry. So these are some hot technologies which people are talking about when it comes to SRE. One is EPBF and other is a open telemetry. So maybe in our upcoming future, maybe after 5 or 6 months, we might have to learn this open telemetry and EPDF. A lot of development activities going on under this section. So please even have a look onto this actually. Watch about this and try to gather as much as information possible whenever you have time. Clear? So this, I know that some of them have talked about the open telemetry. They have said what is open telemetry all about. They have discussed in multiple forums. You can go through it and you can try to understand it, right? But right now, like we're not really bothered about this. But yeah, this is in a near future, in upcoming future. But what is our main concentration that we will be covering these tools as part of this course actually. Correct? Good. Now, guys, okay. So what we'll be learning? We'll be learning about the Elastic Stack. So particularly, firstly, we'll be learning about the architecture of Elastic Stack. We can even call it as Elasticsearch also. Okay. Formally, earlier we used to call it as Elasticsearch actually. Even like some 6 months or 1 year back, right? This used to even call formally as ELK. Okay. Now, guys, now whenever you take any monitoring system, right? Let it be Elasticsearch or let it be Splunk or let it be Dynatrace or let it be any other tool, right? Right? What exactly typically it does actually? So it has to do some kind of a basic, very, very basic operation. It has to do. What is our basic operation? It has to check the liveness of these servers as well as application. So you take any tool, you take any tool. So you take any tool. So checking for basic liveness of servers and application. That is what the basic, any tool you take, guys, this is what it has to first do. First, it has to verify whether the server is up or not. How to do it? It just, you can use any thing. Like, for example, use a basic ping command to check it, right? And you have to also you have to check it whether your application is up or not. How you're going to verify whether application or not? You're going to send some request. With that request, if you get any kind of a response back, right, then you say that, okay, my application is up. This is a simple trick or this is a simple method where you check it. And almost all the tools, whatever the tool which we will be discussing as part of monitoring, right, everything it has to do this basic live check as well as of server as well as application. Okay. So now as part of this, what it is going to do it actually. So you can say that, okay, this monitoring typically involves, so what it does actually, guys, what it does involves, uh, what is it actually? It does some kind of a continuous for the alive state of the server. Remember that it has to first check whether the server is up or not. It will keep checking. So that is what we call as a heartbeat visit. And second is that actually once it found that there is some issue with the server or with the application, you have to raise a notification. So raise a notification. So raise a notification. So to whom it has to write? You have to raise a notification to the teams, to the team, right? To the team on the state of the server or application. So as I said earlier, right, you might either have some kind of a ticketing tool, like say for example, ServiceNow. So through the ServiceNow ticketing tool, or you might have your own way of, like notifying it either through your Teams or either through the emails or either through the Slack. Like there are multiple channels are there through which actually basically you can send a notification. So what your monitoring tool has to do, it has to do a continuous check of the state of the server or the application. And if it finds anything, it has to rise or it has to send a notification to the team. This is what the basically every monitoring tool does it actually. So when we are learning Elasticsearch, when we are learning Prometheus Grafana, we have to make sure that, okay, how it does or what is a mechanism where it can do monitoring for the application or to the servers or to the hardware, and how you can actually send an email notification. This is what we'll be learning at the very preliminary stage. Clear? So guys, to do this actually, basically what happened that you have something as an elastic stack. So this is the first tool which you'll be learning actually. Elastic stack. But before Elasticsearch, guys, we have something which we call it as a elastic cloud actually. Okay. You have something as a elastic cloud. So basically what happened, elastic cloud is nothing but the elastic stack itself. But what you are doing that all your notification monitoring, everything happens to the elastic cloud only. It is very easy to configure and manage and everything. If you want to configure the elastic stack or Elasticsearch tool, you can either do to the elastic cloud also. So here what happened, basically you have to simply go and create one user accounts, and you can start configuring, like all your alert notifications and all liveness checks of everything through within the Elastic Cloud only. So here what happened, right? There is not much complicated. It is very easy. So you can manage everything through Elastic Cloud. So later we'll be discussing about what exactly Elastic Cloud is all about. You need to go and create an account. So basically you should either have some Azure account or GCP account, anything. Through that, you can create an Elastic Cloud account. And through the Elastic Cloud account, you can actually make use of the service provides it actually. But it is not free, guys. I'll tell about that. Like it is something like a 14 days free trial be given. And later what happened that you should start, then later it'll ask you for to go with the upgrade where you have to start paying the money. Okay. So now why I'm bringing this Elastic Cloud, because that we can either configure the Elastic Stack, right, on your live server. Say for example, like you have your own server. I have 4 or 5 servers. So you can install your Elasticsearch in your own server or in your own data center or in your own on-premise server, or else you can have the servers in the cloud, and there you can install the all components of the Elastic Stack. Or else if you say that, no, I don't want to manage all those things by my own, it should be available as a service, then you can go with the Elastic Cloud actually. That's the basic difference. But we cannot learn everything about the Elastic Stack by going to Elastic Cloud, because most of them are completely automated over here. So you'll not be learning how exactly it does monitoring everything. So so what I have to do that, we need to learn from the Elasticsearch from the beginning. We need to understand the high level architecture, how it look like, what are the components you have in the Elastic Stack, and then like we will learn all those components, how to install all those components and so on. And finally, once you learn everything, then learning Elastic Cloud will be very easy. It is not that difficult. Clear? So now what we are going to do, we are going to learn about the Elastic Stack architecture, how it looks like, architecture of Elastic Stack. Okay. Now, how it looks like. For example, let me open MS Paint. Okay, so let us have some icon, like let me take some server icon, guys. So I'll go to the Google. I'll try to search for server icon image. So let me go with some server. So let me go with this server. So guys, this is my server actually. So in this server, what I'll be doing, right? I will be deploying some application. Okay, I'll be deploying some application. It would be a food order application, delivery, or anything actually, right? And so this is a server. So let me write down server. Yeah. Now, after this, what happened, right? So there is one important component of your Elastic stack, one of the important component, which we call it as a Elasticsearch. What is it, guys? We call this as a Elasticsearch. Okay, Elasticsearch is one of the very important component of your Elastic Stack tool. Okay, so basically this Elasticsearch is basically, it is one of the application. So this is basically an application, guys. This is an application. Okay, application which is used basically for searching the texts actually, searching the text. So what am I searching the text? Say for example, see guys, so basically Elasticsearch is one of the application, or this is one of the component of your Elastic Stack. So now, so let me write down here, like we are discussing about the architecture, right? Architecture of the tool, architecture of the tool, Elasticsearch or Elastic Stack we say. So this is an architectural diagram we are discussing now. Okay, so one of the important components is Elasticsearch. Now, Elasticsearch basically it was actually designed, by one of the application which we call the Lucene. Actually, earlier we had an application by name Lucene. So Lucene was the application which was designed by your Apache Foundation. So, guys, one second. Oh, sorry, guys, I got a call. So now, so what I'm trying to tell that actually there was an application designed by the Apache Foundation, okay, which we call the Lucene actually. Lucene is also the application is designed basically for doing some kind of a text searching or text mining application. So what the Elastic Stack did that they took the idea from the Lucene and they tried to came up with their own application, which they call it as a Elasticsearch. So Elasticsearch is very famous, guys. This application is basically used for searching for any text. Say, for example, you have a very big file, right? You have a very big file. You want to search for some text. So what the Elasticsearch will do, it will go to the line by line in that file and it's going to search for that string, whichever you want, and it will display that these are the strings and these are line number stats. So this Elasticsearch is very quick actually. This application is very good application which is used for searching for the text actually. Okay, and it was designed on top of this Lucene. So Lucene was basically designed by the Apache Foundation, right? So, but I mean, I'm just saying that they took an idea from the Lucene and they started developing an application. They're developing some more robust search-based application, which they call later called as Elasticsearch. Now, for example, I'm just giving an example. So, guys, for example, if you go to the Google, say for example, you want to search for some error, right? Say for example, you know that when you're working on Docker, actually, you will get some error like this. Crick something. What is it actually? I still remember Crick Docker something. What is that? Socket does not exist. Does not exist. Right. So when you search for this, guys, actually, what happened, right? You will get lot of articles actually. See, you'll get a lot of articles like this. But usually what people will do, they'll always basically go with the Stack Overflow, right? They'll go with this site and they'll try to check that why you are getting this error, why you are getting this error was a Crick sockets, the Crick Docker socket does not exist, right? So what happened, right? This is something like where with the help of the string, you are able to search at and you are able to go through it. So it means that basically here what happened that Elasticsearch is something like where it'll help you to search for a particular text actually. It could be in file or it could be in any or it could be even in database also. Similarly, say for example, you will say that Rajesh, like I will be keep getting some other error, same thing like Docker, what is it? Something Docker daemon is not running in Windows. Sometime you will get that error and you will start searching for it. So as soon as you search it actually through a Google engine, so Google is giving a lot of articles to you and you see that, okay, there's a Stack Overflow. Just click on this and you could see that actually you're able to get some idea like why your Docker is not getting started, the daemon. The Docker daemon is not getting started. So what I'm trying to tell that guys, how you are going to get all these options because there is something like a search engine. Through a search engine, it is displaying look wherever this text is there, right? Docker daemon is not running. So there it's going to display it. So, like many of the other applications are there. For example, if you go to the Amazon, right, you try to search for some product, it will display a variety of the product, right? Similarly, if you go for Mintra.com, right, where, like some women want to buy some clothes, right? If they try to search it, right, they'll get a very different clothes from very different vendors. How it happens, how it's going to give you so much quickly the results, right? Because that there is some searching algorithm or the applications there, which will give you that, which will give you the details. And that is via with the help of this Elasticsearch. So this Elasticsearch, it is a very fine application which is designed and basically, some data mining or data searching, string searching algorithm is running through which what happened, right? Most of the services, right? Say for example, Mintra or else even Google, many of these services, they take help from this Elasticsearch to search for the string actually. Even today also, like Mintra, it uses Elasticsearch to get all the to filter the data or to like what are the text you are giving, right? With the help of the text, it has to display all the details, right? It uses this Elasticsearch. We can consider this Elasticsearch something like it works, it is running in the database actually. In a database, you'll have a lot of data, right? So what you do, like basically, if some data is, there are some data tables are there. Now you want to search for something, right? What you'll do, you'll just say select a star from so and so, like schema, where you are searching from string. So what happened? You'll display all those details. Say for example, here what you do that if you one more example, I'm just giving you. So just to make you understand, like if I go to the Kubernetes, Wikipedia, I'm just giving. So this is nothing but your Wikipedia page, Kubernetes, right? Suppose for example, you want to search for some string. What you will do basically, simple that you will just do a control F and there I'll search for some string as a Borg. See, it will say that actually there are six places where you'll find a Borg, right? So you can just jump from one string to, you can just jump from one string to other string and verify where and all the Borg is coming from. So this you feel like this is very easy or this is very simple because right you are just searching a string actually. But guys, this is but what happened, right? It is very easy. Why? Because that your file, no, whatever the Wikipedia is showing no, regarding Kubernetes, this file is very small file. It is just in terms of few kilobytes. Say for example, if your file is 1 GB or 2 GB and you are searching for a string for some particular string, right? It will take some time actually to search it actually. So it depends upon the size of the file or size of the content based on that, right? So what the Elasticsearch will do, Elasticsearch will do a fastest search of all the text actually. Clear? Now, okay, good. So this is one component of your Elastic Stack. One is on what Elasticsearch, which we use it actually. Okay, and all your data are placed over here. And apart from that, guys, there is one more important thing. Now, whenever you have a server, on top of the server, whenever your application running, you know that always your application will be, it has to it has to provide a lot of logs to you, right? These are application logs to you. It provides a logs to you, correct? It provides a lot of logs. The application has to provide a lot of logs. Now, what is happening was this logs, right? This logs will basically, it will be in the text format, or it will be some combination of some numeric and text and all, right? Where you'll see that logs will be having some different types of formats are there, right? Now, what you do that actually, there is one more important components of your Elastic Stack, which is nothing but your log stash. What is it? Log stash. So what is that important? One more important component is log stash, guys. So what the log stash will do that, the log stash, whatever the data which you're getting through the logs actually, what the log stash will do that, log stash will take the data, it provide it's in its own format, okay, by filtering some details. Like say for example, in the logs actually, you said, Rajesh, I don't want particular all this call, I don't want other these things and all. I want to filter some data. I don't know, or else I want to add some more details actually. So that everything has been taken care by the log stash. And what the so whatever the logs is there, logs stash what will do, this is one of the component, it takes it, it does some kind of a filtering, and it does change it to some other format, and that log stash what happened, right, it sends the data to your Elasticsearch. Under this Elasticsearch, what happened, all your logs details, whatever the log stash has sent it, it will go and it will come and it will save over. Clear, guys? Now, what is happening that it means that your server logs information and all will be converted to some other format by the log stash, and finally it will be stored in the Elasticsearch. Clear? Now, what happened, like whenever, suppose this is okay, this is all the data which has been saved under the Elasticsearch. Now, suppose whenever an external user, some user, external user want to see the data or want to check the data details, right? He's an external user, or else he's an external user. So whenever an external user, he want to see all the logs information about the server or the application, right? Basically, he can connect or he can go through it with the help of one of the other important component of your Elasticsearch, which is nothing but your Kibana. So Kibana is something like like a UI actually. So Kibana, Kipana, Kibana. Okay. So it is basically a UI application. Okay. Through which what happened that the user can log in. He can log into this Kibana application. Through that application, what happened that whatever the data details he need, right? The monitoring details he need, he can get through the Kibana. Kibana is like your front-end UI or UI application. So the main important component of your Elastic Stack is Logstash, Elasticsearch, and Kibana. That's what the name came, ELK. Formerly earlier, like 6 months or 1 year back, right? We used to call it as a ELK tool, ELK monitoring. Okay. So guys, this is one server. It's not like that there could be only one server. That could be like n number of servers, right? It's not like that only one server. You will have multiple servers within an organization, like this, right? Right. So all the details about all the different applications which are running in these servers, right? Through the logs, you will be sending to the Logstash. Logstash does some kind of different formatting of the data. It adds some filters, and finally the data details of the logs will be sent to the Elasticsearch. And here what happened that you have something as a Kibana, which is like a UI application where a user can log into the Kibana and he can start getting all kind of a monitoring details about the application or the server. So guys, till here, do you have any doubts? Did you understood the whole component? These are the major three components. Girish, any doubt, Harinder? Did you understood, Ravindra?
Yes, sir. No doubt, sir.
Okay, good. Okay, so it used to call earlier as a ELK, but later what happened? Many other components were also added. Say, for example, here one more components known as something like a beats was added actually. Beats, BATS, beats. It is like an agent which is installed in the servers actually. This is also one of the other component which was added. Okay, this beats was added, and these beats are been configured in each and every server. This will act like an agent actually. So there are many beats are there. Like for example, you have a heartbeat, you have something as a metric beat, you have a file beat like this. These are some different beats are there. You have to configure it. Heartbeat is basically it will give you the liveness of the server, whether the server is up or not, right? Metric bit, suppose you need some kind of a dashboard or the metrics. So through the help of this agent or metric bit, okay, it will give the details actually. And feel similarly for the file bit. Say for example, in your server, you need somebody wants some file actually. He said, okay, Rajesh, I need that log file. Okay, this bit, there is something in the file bit which will give you that log to the end user. So this is something like an agent which will be running in every server. It has to be configured, and there are several different types of bits are there, which we'll be discussing in our upcoming sessions. What are those bits, how to configure, all those things we'll be discussing it. Okay, so now, what happens that basically that this bit can send the data to the log stash like this. It can send the data to log stash, and through the log stash, it will be sent to the Elasticsearch. Either you can do this way, or else what happened, right? This beat can directly send the data to your Elasticsearch like that. It can directly send the data to your Elastic. Sorry, my diagram is a little bad. So what I'm saying that you can configure anyway. Either beats can send the data to the log stash, and log stash does some kind of formatting, and finally it saves the data to the Elasticsearch. Or else that beat can directly communicate or send the data to the Elasticsearch. So anything is possible. These are the two ways where bits will be configured, where it sends the data. Clear, guys? Till here? So these are the, so what happened, right? Earlier we had a ELK. Now two more components, so one more component is added, was a B, bits. So they used to call it as a ELKB, like that they used to call ELKB, like this. They used to call, later they used to call as the ELKB2. But it was, this was sounding very difficult because like somebody said, what is ELKB? You have to say Elasticsearch, L for Logstash, K for Kibana, B for bits. It was looking, I mean, it was not sounding well actually, right? So later what after some time what happened, one more component was added, which we call it as a XPack. What is it called, guys? Because one more new component, which we call as a XPack. XPack. So what is this XPack? Basically, this is one of the important component of your Elastic Stack, right? This will does many operations. It does actually. One is nothing but your user management. What are user management are there, right? Like how many users you can allow it to use, all kind of user permission or user management you can do through the XPack, and even like all your alert, how to send alert notifications, everything that can be configured, everything through the help of this XPack component. Okay, so guys, when you're learning the Elasticsearch, Logstash, Kibana, Beats, all these four components are open source. All these four components are open source. It is freely available. You can install it, you can configure it. Only XPack is only one component which is a charge of, it is paid actually. So when you are using this XPack, you need to pay a little bit more money for making use of this XPack component within your ELK. So now what happened? The name ELKBX, it used to call as a ELKBX. It was looking very messy. So that's what they said, no, we will not keep the name as ELKBX. Instead, we'll keep it as a Elastic Stack. That's what they kept the name as an Elastic Stack. Because it was looking very messy, right? Again, tomorrow one more component is added. You have to add one more, one more keyword for that, right? So that will be difficult. So that's what happened, right? They said that we will rename it as a Elastic Stack. So now recently, like a year back, right, 1 year back, right, the Elasticsearch was actually renamed as a Elasticstack. Clear, guys? Okay, guys. Any doubts you have, guys, still here? Okay. So shall we write a note on this, everything? Okay. So what are the components? So the components are, the first is nothing but the Elasticsearch. Guys, today I will not be taking a length. I'll not be taking more than an hour because I'm not well. What I will do, like, I will just complete this component and then we'll stop the class. So what we'll do, like, tomorrow we will again continue from here itself, from the architecture itself. Okay. So what I will do, let me write the notes for this and then we will wind up the class. Okay. So Elasticsearch, basically what happened, right? It is a text-based search engine designed to scale horizontally. So it means that it's not only one component, guys. You can have multiple Elasticsearch. Suppose in one single server, you have configured Elasticsearch. Say, for example, I take a T2.micro server service type in our AWS and I try to install in that Elasticsearch. It is not like only one server. I can have multiple servers like that. I can have one server, I can have 10 servers where you have configured the same Elasticsearch component of your Elastic Stack. Right? It works actually. It works the same way. If it is one server on 10 servers, the working is same actually. So that's what I said, that if you're tomorrow, if you're trying to scale it also, it allows you to scale actually. Okay. So that is one thing. And what is the second thing, guys? Logstash actually. So what the Logstash does, basically this is used for log conversions or filtering something. Log conversions actually, and filterings. Third component. What is the third component? Kibana. So this is the UI actually, right? This is the UI for the whole stack actually. So whenever any external user want to check it, he can log into this UI as a user and he can do, he can check all kind of logs monitoring or the server monitoring, everything. So that is, we call the Kibana actually. So then we have sometimes the beats actually. So there are different types of bits. They act as agent, right? Agent who provides the data to Elasticsearch or Logstash. That's what I said. Either your beats, where is it? The beats, either it can send the data directly to the Elasticsearch, or else it can send to the Logstash, and finally from the Logstash it can send to the Elastic, like that. Anyway, it can be configured actually. That's what I mentioned. Okay, and after that, what you have to do, guys? The last one is nothing but your XPack. So XPack, basically what happened, right? Additional features like user management, as I said, right? You can configure user management, everything to XPack. Notifications are added using XPack component. Guys, please mute yourself. Okay, guys. So this is all about your different components, guys. Clear? So what we'll do, I'm sorry, today we'll stop it. I'm getting a little bit more headache now. So we'll stop it today. And what we'll do, probably tomorrow I'll plan, tomorrow or day after tomorrow, Wednesday, sorry, Friday we'll plan to have one more session where I will continue from here itself. We will go in detail, more in detail about this, what exactly Elasticsearch is all about, how it does the data mining and searching activity, what's an algorithm it uses, and we'll go with the log stash beats and all. Like, we'll go in detail about each and every component and try to understand, right? And finally what we'll do that in our upcoming sessions, we'll try to install and install all these things, all these components, okay, either in AWS cloud or in Azure cloud or in GCP. And then like we'll start configuring all kind of a monitoring alerts, right? We'll have our own applications, we'll have our simple our own applications. And then we're going to verify, okay, when we will make the application down, and we'll see whether the notification is coming or not. We will make we'll stop some services, and we'll see that, or else we'll make the server down. We'll make the server down, shut down or stop state, and see whether we are getting notification. Very, very basic thing we are going to see, and we are going to check whether how exactly your Elastic stack, right, that monitoring tool is working. That is our initial step actually. Clear? So that's all, guys. Sorry, today I'm not able to continue. So we will continue from the next session onwards. We'll discuss about some more details. Okay. So we will be having a next session on this Friday, guys. Tomorrow I'll not be taking. Friday at the same time, 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. IST, we will have one more session. And Saturday we'll have again in the evening. Saturday and Sunday evening we'll keep our sessions. Clear? Fine, guys. If you have any doubts, do you have any doubts, guys? Or else we'll wind up our session. Girish, Harinder, Ravindra? No,
sir.
No, sir.
So did you understood, right? This
Yes, sir.
components, XPack, Elasticsearch, Logstash, Beat. Lucini is a application which was developed by Apache Foundation, guys. Don't get confused. So Elasticsearch was designed on top of this Lucene actually. Clear? So this is also one of the, you can just search what is Lucene in the Google, you will get all informations. Clear? Chalo then, guys. Let me stop this recording.